Hello, I am Rayne Duhart, and welcome to a special edition of WLHS Action News. Today's guest is Associate Director of Bands and Associate Professor of Music at the University of Alabama, where he serves as the conductor of the Alabama Symphonic Band and the Associate Conductor of the Alabama Wind Ensemble, and the Associate Director of the Family's $1 Million Band. He also teaches graduate and undergraduate conducting and wind band literature classes. He is also the coordinator of the Crimson Music Camps and the Alabama Honor Band Festival. I have the pleasure and honor of interviewing Mr. Randall Coleman. First, Mr. Coleman, please let me say thank you for granting us this interview.
Oh, I'm happy to be here.
Oh, this is so great.
Yes.
All right, so first, let's start off on a light note. You worked as a high school band director for 25 years, and you have been with the University of Alabama since 2007. In your wildest dream, Mr. Coleman, when you were growing up, did you ever envision your life to be like this?
Absolutely not. I was telling Mr. Chance as we were walking up here that the hallways of the school remind me so much of the school that I graduated from. I'm originally from a small town in North Alabama, Blountsville, Alabama, and I went to J.B. Pennington High School, which looks exactly like this school on the inside. It's kind of freaky. But no, I grew up a huge Alabama fan, but moved to Georgia when I graduated from college and was a high school band director there and thought that's what I would do the rest of my career. And then this opportunity came open and I put my name in the file and
leap for it, yes.
There we go. And now look.
How early did you discover your love for music?
I don't even remember not loving music. I started when I was probably 3 years old, maybe 4 years old, actually taking dance lessons. And I studied dance until I was 14 years old. And we didn't have a band in the school where I was going at that time. It didn't start till I was in 8th grade. So I knew I wanted to do something with music, but as soon as I saw the band and knew that I wanted to be a part of the band, I was like, this is what I want to do. So it's always been a part of my life that I can remember.
Gotcha. Okay, so we are, of course, super excited to have you in Crenshaw County working with our County Honor Band. You have accomplished so much in your life. So what makes this time at Crenshaw County, or is it just high school students that makes it like special to you?
I always love doing honor bands and coming out, particularly in Alabama, when I get a chance to come out and that's a little bit further away from Tuscaloosa and just get to meet some new students and meet their directors and have some time with them and to make music together. It's always amazing to me how, we started the rehearsals last night and we're doing a concert tomorrow. In the span of one day, they're going to learn, 4 or 5 pieces of music well enough to perform in front of an audience. So it's always remarkable what the students are able to do, and I just enjoy being a part of that.
That's good. All right. So, is there a major difference in high school and college band students? If so, like what? What's the big difference?
Yeah, there's a little bit. College band in general is a lot different than high school band. The students are basically the same, and typically, like high school band students are typically some of your better students in the school. They're academically, they do well, and most of the time they stay out of trouble. And college kids are the same. I mean, they're high school kids that have gone on to college, so they're really good students. Typically, they're highly motivated. They're really involved in their academics. And college marching band takes up a fair amount of time. Our situation is a little bit different than most because our football team has done so well the last couple of years. We have a really long season. It starts the 1st of August and doesn't end a lot of times until the middle of January. So it's a really long season. But they love being there. So it's just time management for them, but they're basically the same as high school kids, just a little bit older.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
All right, now the $1 million question. Let's talk about the $1 million band.
Okay.
Okay, so what type of college education is required for to become an associate band director?
We do things at Alabama a little bit different than some. A lot of universities will have one director of the marching band that doesn't do anything else with any other parts of the band. In other words, they don't do any concert bands or they don't teach any classes. They just simply do the marching band and the pep bands. And we do a little bit different in that the 2 directors at Alabama kind of share everything. So we both work with the marching band and we both teach classes in the School of Music. So it's a little bit different, but you of course have to have a music degree and have to have an advanced degree, either master's or doctorate. And that's typically now a lot more of a requirement than it used to be as far as having a doctorate to teach college. So Students these days, if they have desire to teach college, we encourage them to eventually make plans to get that doctorate.
Okay, gotcha. How many members? Oh my goodness! How many members are there currently in the $1 Million Band?
At my last count, there's 406.
Oh my goodness!
We took 406 students over the break to San Francisco, and yeah, it's a logistical nightmare.
Oh, okay. Was not expecting that, but all right. Okay, so just because it's fun, could you like walk our viewers through like a typical practice?
Sure.
Okay.
We practice 5 days a week from 4 to 5:30, and we'll start each day in sections. In other words, all the trumpets will be together, and trombones and color guard and the majorettes will all be together, and they do their own warm-up things, that it's very specific to each section. And then we'll typically start with a full band music rehearsal where we just stand, and much like a big concert band, in arcs and rehearse the music that we're working on for that particular show, and also our music that we play in the stands. We like to keep that brushed up and sounding good because we're on television a lot, just a little pan in the stands. And then once we do the music rehearsal, then we'll go and spend some time with the marching, putting the drill with the music and everything.
Gotcha. Okay. So, Luverne School graduate, Mr. Vernon Moody,
Mm-hmm.
was, I think, a member of the $1 Million Band
He
from
was.
2006 to 2010.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
And we are super proud of him. So, talk to me a little about the music Vernon and even current members of the band had to play and learn.
We try to do, typically we'll do 3 different shows each year. And that's kind of dependent on our home versus away schedule is kind of what determines if it's 3 shows or sometimes 4. We don't like to do the same show at home more than 2 times. So we'll do it facing one side of the stadium one week and the other side the other, because our stadium is a bowl where there's fans all around us.
Gotcha.
So we do the show facing one side one week and then the other side facing the other side. But then we like to have something new to present to them. So we're almost always constantly reviewing and cleaning one show and learning another show at the same time. So they have to juggle a lot as far as that. And they have to learn a lot of music because we require the students to memorize all the music. So we don't take music into the stands or anything like that. So everything we play, they have to memorize.
Okay, so how do you decide what selections to play?
That's the tricky part because we like to try to pick stuff, first of all, that our students will enjoy playing and will learn something from playing them, be a better musician from playing them, but then we also have to keep our fan base happy, and our fan base is large and varied in just about their likes and how old they are, and it's really a challenge. So we try to pick some things from different eras that might appeal. One show we might do, something, a big band tune from the 20s or 30s.
Gotcha.
And then the next show might be 70s music from the 70s or 80s. So we just try to do a lot that at least one show every year might appeal to pretty much everybody that would hear us.
Good. All right. So your staff, like here at Luverne, Mr. Chance does an awesome job with our band.
Mm-hmm.
He gets an intern. He has wonderful support from the band parents, administration, and of course a wonderful community. But for the most part, it is Mr. Chance and the students.
Mm-hmm.
So like, do you have an assistants?
We do. There's a director of bands. I'm the associate director of bands, and the team, the 2 of us work together kind of as the lead directors. And then we also have an assistant director that's responsible for our percussion section that does the drums. We have another assistant that's responsible for our color guard. Then we have a full-time staff member that's responsible for our majorettes.
Okay.
And they all have some different grad student help for them. And then one of the best things that we did probably 8 or 10 years ago is we hired someone who has a music degree that's a band director, but his focus is basically our logistics. So he plans all of our trips and meals and buses and airplanes, and however we get from point A to point B, he plans everything and takes care of our uniforms because we don't have a band parents club at the college. So we all have to kind of pitch in and help with that. But we do have a lot of people that work really hard.
Okay. So how would a Luverne student become a member of the $1 Million Band?
We have auditions. Everybody auditions for the $1 Million Band every year. So even our returning members have to go through the audition process every year. And that's happening now for the coming fall. And it's a music audition where the students prepare. We post the music on our website. The students learn the music, and then they come to us. They have an option of 5 or 6 different times where they can come to Tuscaloosa and do their audition. And then at the end of April, we have our color guard and crimsonette, our majorettes, and our drumline auditions, so that when May 1st gets here, we're able to know who actually makes the band.
Gotcha.
So that everybody can register for class and get ready for the fall. So, to get it as far as like a woodwind or a brass instrument, you come in, you play that audition, and then we typically take, like I said, we have the numbers capped at like 400, really close to that, and we do that because that's how many bus seats we have and how many seats we have in the games and
Gotcha.
that kind of thing. But we will have people who didn't quite make the cut that are on our wait list. That sometimes people drop out or something happens and we'll call up somebody from our wait list. So we typically have a wait list of probably 150 or 200 students that are on a wait list.
Gotcha. Okay, so final some questions. Hang in with me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you accomplished so much over the course of your life and career. So who or what motivates you, Mr. Coleman?
I think the students motivate me still. I want to make sure that the students that I have at Alabama have a great experience in their college career. And a lot of students that we have are not music majors. They're not going to be band directors. They're going to do something else. But being in the band teaches them so much. So like being in a high school band teaches you a lot, even if you're not a serious music student. So I still want to give them the best experience they can have and help them be better people when they grow up and go into their life. So that's a motivation for me, and I just want to hopefully keep doing the best that I can do for a few more years anyway. This is year 37 for me, high school and college teaching, so I've been at it a while.
Yep. What piece of advice would you give any student looking to go down the same career path as you?
Just never quit. There are times when things go really, really well and you feel really good about things, and then there are going to be those times when things don't go exactly as you planned or don't happen on the timeline that you want them to happen on. It takes a little bit longer to do something than you thought it might. Just keep all that in stride and never give up, and keep your eyes on the goal that you've set for yourself and keep at it.
Well, thank you so much for
Absolutely.
carrying enough to keep the the field of music alive.
Uh-huh.
And of course, thank you so much for taking time with our County Honor Band.
It's my honor. Happy
And
to be here.
thank you for letting me and granting me this interview. So
Sure.
this concludes this special report. I am Rayne Duhart reporting for WLHS Action News. Have a great day.